Assalamu alaikum and welcome to today's lesson number 42 of the Quranic Arabic Grammar course for beginners. Today I want to review sentences with Arabic adjectives and then inshallah we can practice from the Quran on adjectives. Please make sure you watch all the previous lessons from the playlists Quranic Arabic Simplified or Madinah Arabic Shortened. Let us now begin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So I want to do a quick review of a nominal sentence with adjectives in it. So nominal sentences has been covered in detail in prior lessons, and we're going to look at the nominal sentence with adjectives in it, right? And na'atun is the adjectives, and we said man'utun is the noun that the adjective is describing. Let's take a look at this sentence. Al-usfuru ta'irun Sagirun. It means the sparrow is a small bird. So here al-usfuru, which means the sparrow, is the mubtada, which means the subject of the sentence, and here the predicate or the khabar of the sentence is ta'irun, which is bird. So it is khabarun wa man'utun, meaning it is the noun which is going to have an adjective describing it, right? So the adjective here is sagirun, small. That is the na'at, which is describing the bird. So another example right here is al-kursiyul maksuru fil gurfati. The broken chair is in the room. Here al-kursiyu is the mubtada, and it is the man'ut. And what is the adjective describing the chair? The broken chair. So al-maksuru is the adjective, broken, because it is describing the chair, right? Broken chair, fil gurfati, in the room. So I want to take a quick minute to cover when an adjective is the khabar or the predicate of the sentence, because sometimes people can confuse that. So let's take a look at the simple sentence here. Al-kitabu kabirun. It means the book is large. So here kabirun is an adjective, but it is actually an adjective being used as a khabar. This is the predicate of the sentence. Okay, now compare that with if there was an al, the definite article, in front of the word kabir. Then it would be al-kabiru, right? Because the tanween cannot exist with an al, so it would be al-kabiru. So notice here, the moment you put the al here, it matches this noun here, which is al-kitabu. In this case, you do not say the book is large, because now it's no longer the khabar of the sentence. Now it's an adjective. It's an adjective describing the book. So the way I have written it with the al, now you would translate it as the large book, right? So in this case, large or al-kabiru is the adjective describing the book. Okay, I hope you see that distinction. So these two sentences are here for you to easily be able to identify the adjective in the sentence. So in the first sentence, Al-Arabiyatu lugatun sahlatun. It means the Arabic is an easy language. So here Al-Arabiyatu is the mubtada and lugatun is the khabar, and it is man'ut, and sahlatun, meaning easy, is the adjective describing lugatun, right? Easy language. So in the next sentence, al-lugatul arabiyatu sahlatun. Here the meaning is the Arabic language is easy. So here al-lugatu is the mubtada and it is the man'ut. And here al-arabiyatu is the adjective because it matches exactly al-lugatu. So now it's describing the language, right? So the Arabic language. So here Arabic is now functioning as the adjective. Okay, so the Arabic language is easy. Sahlatun is the khabar here. So let's do a few more sentences just so that you understand when it's a subject predicate and when it's an adjective. So in the first sentence, هذا كتاب جديد. It means this is a new book, where هذا is the mubtada and kitabun is the khabar and jadidun is the adjective describing the book, right? New book. In the second sentence right here, al-kitabul jadidu thaqilun. It means the new book is heavy. So here al-kitabu is the mubtada. Okay, al-jadidu is describing the book. The new book is heavy. And in the third sentence, al-kitabu jadidun. Here we see there's no adjective, right? We're saying the book is new. Here al-kitabu is the mubtada and jadidun is the khabar. Okay. In the fourth sentence, hadha al-kitabu jadidun. It means this book is new. So here hadha is the mubtada and al-kitabu is considered badal, which means it's a substitute of haza, meaning it means it's referring to the same thing, right? Hadal kitabu, this book is new. So here jadidun is the khabar. And in the fifth sentence here, hadal kitabul jadidu thaqilun. This new book is heavy. So here we see that new is functioning as an adjective, right? Okay, so let's take a look at how this is broken down. Hadha al-kitabu. So here hadha is the mubtada. Al-kitabu is the badal, right? It is the substitute, but it's also the man'ut because al-jadidu is an adjective which is describing this book, right? This new book is heavy and the khabar is thaqilun, which is heavy. Okay, and then we look at this sentence number 6. Abbasun tajiran. It means Abbas is a merchant. So this is pretty straightforward, where Abbas is the mubtada and the khabar is tajiran. Okay, so now comes the best part, which is whatever you have learned on adjectives, you can now apply your knowledge to understand verses from the Quran. Okay, so let's start, and you're welcome to pause the video, try these verses on your own, and then get back with me to review them. So in the first portion of the verse, it says, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. It means undoubtedly there has come to you from Allah light and a luminous book. So here qad is used for emphasis, which is why you see undoubtedly. Ja'a is a verb and it means it came, okay? And kum is the pronoun, meaning it came to you all, right? Referring to us. Minallahi means from Allah. So here, what came to us from Allah? Nurun, a light, and wa means and, kitabun, a book. So what kind of a book? It is mubinun. So here it is an adjective describing the book, right? So a luminous book came to us from Allah. In the next verse, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. And undoubtedly you possess excellent manners. Allah here is talking to our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa means and, innaka. So doing emphasis here, inna is providing emphasis. Ka means you, referring to the Prophet. La is used for emphasis here. You see, la, ala. So the la is an emphatic lam. Ala is a preposition. Khuluqin, right? So this is majroor because it's preceded by that preposition ala. Khuluqin is manners, right? So now what is the adjective here? It is azimin. It is describing the manner, right? Excellent manners. Okay, so I hope you were able to identify the adjectives in these two verses. And let's look at this third one here. وَجَاءَهُمْ Rasulun Kareemun, and an honorable messenger came to them. So wa ja'a, again the same verb that we just saw, right? So here the ja'a means, as I said, he came, and here it is referring to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And whom is a pronoun here to mean them, right? So came to them, what came? Rasulun, right? It is messenger. And what kind of a messenger? Here is your adjective describing our Rasul. He is an honorable messenger, right? So this is describing our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam with a beautiful adjective, kareemun. So let's continue to practice adjectives from the Quran. And again, these verses are portions of the verses shown for study purposes. In this first example, Ihdina siratal mustaqima. It means guide us in the straight path. Where ihdina means guide us. And ihdi is a verb. It means guide. So it is an imperative verb. Okay. And na is your pronoun. So guide us. And as-sirata is the object of this verb, which is why it's mansub, as you can see with the fatha. And that's why mustaqima is the adjective describing as-sirata, the path. What kind of a path it is? It is straight path, and it is also mansub, because we said the adjective matches the noun that it's modifying. Okay, so here al-mustaqima is the adjective. It's describing the path, straight path. The next sentence is walahum adhabun adhimun. So here it means and for them is a great torment. So wa means and, lahum means for them, and for them. Here actually the khabar precedes in this case, and the mubtada comes after. Okay, here your mubtada is azabun, which is, it is marfu'un with a dhamma. And azimun matches that. So azimun also has a tanween dhamma matching azabun because it's describing it. So it's a great torment, right? So azimun is the naat. Okay. In the next sentence, lahum magfiratun wa rizqun kareemun. So for them is forgiveness and an honorable provision. So magfiratun wa rizqun, right? There is forgiveness and provision. So now what kind of a provision is it? It is kareemun. So your kareemun is the adjective describing the provision, describing the rizqun. So kareemun here is your adjective. And in the next one, Nasrum minallahi wa fathun qareebun. Help from Allah and a near victory. So here you see Nasrun is it's a noun, right? Help from Allah. Minallahi and fathun. And what kind of a victory is it? It is a near victory, right? So it's describing the kind of victory. It is a near-sighted victory. That's why qareebun is your adjective here, describing the victory. Let's continue to look at examples from the Quran to study adjectives. In the first example, bi lisanin arabiyyin mubinin. It means in plain Arabic speech. Here, bi is your preposition and it is attached to this noun, lisanin. Okay, lisan means tongue, but here it's referring to the speech. And it's majroor because of the bi attachment, because of the preposition attachment. And here, Arabiyan is your adjective describing the speech. So it is Arabic speech. And interestingly, mubinin is the adjective describing Arabian. It is plain or clear Arabic. Okay, so in plain Arabic speech. In the next example, وَقَالُوا هَذَا إِفْكٌ مُبِينٌ, and say it is a clear or manifest untruth. So here wa means and, qalu they said, hada means this, ifkun means something that is fabricated, that is not true. So mubinun here is describing the ifkun. So that's why it's in the same case. Okay, it's in the same marfu'un case, ifkun mubinun, because it's an adjective. And in this verse, Ulaika yunadawna mim makanin ba'idin. It means they are like those who are called from a far off place. Ulaika means those. Yunadawna is a verb. It means those who are called. Okay. Min means from. Okay. Makanin is place. So here, ba'idin is your adjective describing the place. Okay. That's why it matches it in its case. Makanin ba'idin. So ba'idin is your adjective here, right? Far off place. Okay, so let's continue our examples from the Quran on adjectives. We look at this verse here. Al-malu wal-banuna zinatul hayati dunya. It means the wealth and sons are an adornment of the worldly life. Notice here, zinatu is the adornment, is the mudaf, and al-hayati is mudaf ilayhi, which is why it has that kasra. And ad-dunya is the adjective describing al-hayati. So al-hayati is a feminine because it has the tam marbuta, which is why ad-dunya is also a feminine noun. Okay, so that's the adjective describing the life, which is a worldly life. Okay, and in the next example, lahul asma'ul husna. It means his are the most beautiful names. So lahu is your khabar of the sentence, the predicate of the sentence which preceded, and al-asma'u is the mubtada or the subject of the sentence, and it's marfu'un with the dhamma. And al-husna is the adjective, beautiful names. And again, note that al-asma'u is feminine, and we talked about these markers of feminine in a previous lesson on gender. So this is a feminine noun. And al-husna is also feminine, okay? So the gender, it matches for the adjective, okay? If you are regular with watching the 2 or 3 short videos that I post per week, you will succeed in mastering Quranic Arabic, inshallah. If this video benefited you, please do like, subscribe, comment, and keep watching these short videos. Subhanaka wa bihamdika la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.